tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. Put it in 10, know I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in a ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pull out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bed until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Lost my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.
And New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden lead. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. Come on. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard. My team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is. I get it. Come on. I got cleats on my feet, jersey on my back, helmet on my head, ready to attack like that. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden lead. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. Come on. and I can't be schemed. Roll your when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard.
All right, Coach. First opened in 1999. There's a good look at First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Cleveland Browns. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Let's go.
On second and 11 now. Mayfield gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
King. Hey, 7.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. 3rd and long for Mayfield. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it.
Down. 90 Wolf.
Harris starts the drive on the ground, and he's got room. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big pickup of 38.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Off play action. Lawrence. He'll buy some time right. Got an open man. It's QT. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Ready? 53, check 54. Big series right here. Ready?
Off the play fake. Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. And this a 39-yard attempt. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And it's now 3-0 Texans. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
51's the mic. 51's the mic.
From the gun, Mayfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down.
A 1-yard pickup.
The Texans here on third down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. This is Harris. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. They run with Harris. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Hey, echo. Get it.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Texans football to start quarter 2, as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Switch. Chopper.
Looking to throw. Lawrence. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Lawrence eluding the pressure right. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this will pin him nicely inside the 20 as it's out of bounds at about the 14-yard line.
At their own 14-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 39-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
X3, 218, chop it. Check 49, check 49. No.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now again, right side, Jefferson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Back at the 37-yard line.
Here we go. 8-3.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
Hey, Zoo.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Mike, 53. 53, Mike. Go on.
To throw on 2nd down. Lawrence. Pass incomplete.
Lawrence's pass incomplete on the throwaway. It's 3rd down.
Ready.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Strip that ball.
Ready.
From the gun, Lawrence. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slapped. Happy up here sometimes.
Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 11.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
6 guys. Check 6 guys.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Deron Payne in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Oh, he nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard, you risk
pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow, out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
We're certainly not going to see a better punt than that. Definitely taking a chance, because if that thing clips the pylon, it comes out to the 20, but instead, it goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jack.
Accelerating, and off he goes. He's at the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb in the final seconds of the first half, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals, because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On second down, it's Harris. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Let's get it.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty.
It's our time. It's fine.
On second down, this is Harris. A pickup of 7 there, but they'll still have 12 yards to go on third down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Routine spill.
Off play action. Lawrence. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Had to pass there, third and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for third and short, because when it's third and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
But we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Show some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. A toss play to Chubb. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
2nd and 9 now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Seibert able to knock this one through. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more. Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lawrence. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Harris. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Alpha.
To throw on 2nd down. Lawrence. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Morgan Burnett. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Come on, set. Time to end it. 51. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. 51's the mic. 51's the mic. Watch the run. Watch the run. Good shot, baby. That's what it looks for. 51's the mic.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Hey, we got to steal. We got to steal. We got to steal. They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing 61. Matchbox lights. 2.
They'll run on first down. It's Harris. We have played 3 quarters, and that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Off the play fake, Lawrence. Flush to his right. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Oh, no, he lost the football. And I think the Browns got it. They did.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17, and he will score. It's a touchdown. A little bit of a backbreaker right there. You're down close, one-score game, trying to push the ball down the field and score, and you throw a pick six.
And sometimes you take a little bit of a gamble when you're making your throws, right? Sometimes you press it a little bit more because you want that score so badly. In this case, it cost them.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started, and they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
At the 31-yard line.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Second and 4. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off near the 44. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
Hey, team 6, team 6.
2nd and 6. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. From 6 yards away. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 40. And they are going to set up. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. They'll run again with Harris. And an alley to run. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Just nothing there. There again, he's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Run.
Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And this will be a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. Might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Mayfield. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Mayfield down. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off right around the 43. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the third time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. Because if you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who got 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
A gain of 3, second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
This is Harris. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On second down now, Jefferson. They find some open field here. Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39.
50, plant. X3, 218, chopper.
They'll try to run with Harris. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Here we go. 18 Gator.
They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
The Browns drive about to get started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all that yardage. That would be a big play.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Intended for Damian Buckley. Results in a 4th down.
They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down.
Let him know, let him know.
Now Mayfield on 4th down. And he finds Seals Jones complete. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. Mayfield now just 6 of 15 through the air. Not good, but 1st and 10 here. Mayfield to throw it. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. Ricky Seals Jones, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Watch tight end. Alert.
One last shot for Mayfield here. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And that will write a finish to this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Houston, they move back over 500 at 7-6. And they'll have another road date next week with the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
I left it